This Transmissions Trips to the Store video has been brought to you with the help of listeners like you.
Without Patreon support, Transmissions wouldn't be the show it is today. You can sign up for our Patreon at www.transmissionspodcast.com/support.
Welcome to the Transmissions Trips to the Store, where we show off all the awesome Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video, and it's part of our weekly Transmissions podcast. You can check us out at our website, www.transmissionspodcast.com. We do 2 shows every week. 2 shows. The first show, Transmissions, that's every Wednesday. It's all about Transformers toys. Trips to the Store is a part of that. So if you're watching this, you're likely listening to Transmissions, and good job. Every Friday is Transmissions Alt Mode, which is all about Transformers comics and media. And this week we are reviewing Lost Light number 16. So check that out if you're reading Lost Light, and see what we thought about that comic. As always, Transmissions is supported and funded and brought to you by our Donatrons. That's you guys out there, all the listeners who give us money and support to help us keep this show going. Really appreciate it. Thank you for your support.
We need more.
Give Yoshi an inch, he'll take a mile. Welcome back, Yoshi, by the way. Yoshi's been away for a little while, and we're glad to have him back on the show. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Hey, look, going to conventions, editing video, it takes time.
It does. Takes 5 weeks, apparently, before you even left for the convention.
That's the shock of a tweet that goes viral does to me. I need to absorb that, and then I'm okay.
Right. Anyway, let's talk about what we got this week. And we are starting off with Jeremy.
Oh. And that's not Jeremy. There we go. And I lied when I said I only had comics. I forgot about something, Charles. I can't believe I forgot it. But let's do the comics first.
Okay.
First, we got Lost Light, number 16, that we're going to be talking about. Naked for Yoshi. Naked comic.
It's like you guys don't even fucking care anymore. I'm gone 5 weeks, and it's gone to shit.
I have this one. It's in the bag. I got Lost Light 16, the RI cover. It's the Alex Milne cover with no colors. And thought it was awesome. So
the glue from that yellow price tag is going to get through the bag.
I'm going to rebag and board all these. The last thing I got, I was in Chicago this last weekend, and I stopped at Graham Cracker Comics, and I was digging through their bins, and I found this Dreamwave Transformers number 1 with a little lenticular cover. It's the
War Within number 1.
Yeah, sorry, War Within number 1. It's the War Within Prime transforming. I thought that was pretty cool, and for $7, I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good deal. I'd never actually seen this before, and then Charles was like, oh, yeah, I got that.
It's pretty
The
common.
last thing What?
It's pretty common. Everyone's got one. You didn't have one?
I've got the, I can't remember, Australia, New Zealand, something like that. They're versions of the regular G1 series that are like smaller.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. But the last thing I have is I got the record of the soundtrack, and while they used actual G1 poster art here on the inside, and they use actual cartoon art mostly, or cartoon looking art on the back, the art on the front is whatever effect they use. I don't know if it comes through here. It's not the best. I mean, if you look at it from a distance, it looks fine. When you look at it up close, it's all pixelated and weird. Not really pixelated, it's just the effect that's on it.
It's an effect or a fuck up?
It's an effect.
Okay.
It's like a badly chosen Photoshop effect.
I see.
But this is nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
I got the Bumblebee
So,
version because that was all that was available. And Yeah,
Can we watch
can't
it
wait.
spin on your record player?
Well, when I buy one.
Yeah.
Until then, I'll just get a pencil and I'll stick it in the middle, and I'll get a pen and a cup. I'll just just like I did when I was in elementary school.
For those listening to the podcast, Yoshi has just had a meltdown.
I just hit all of his buttons. Once but
I think the Juggernaut is also screaming silently somewhere.
yeah, but yeah, I can't wait. We've heard samples and think it sounds great, with the exception of missing the robotic sounding voices on the theme song. But other than that, I can't wait to listen to it. So that's all I got.
We're talking about 1970s technology. It's available. You can get it.
And I'm eyeing one.
All right.
My wife and I have a deal. I will throw out some old cassette tapes, and she'll let me get the record player. So I'm throwing out some 80s technologies for some 60s technology. I don't even have any
70s, 60s technology.
The phonograph goes back a little bit further than that.
Stereo.
1800
Stereo phonograph,
guys.
Stereo phonograph.
Oh my goodness.
Right, that's all I got.
Edison tubes, guys.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go next. Sorry, Yoshi. I also picked up Lost Light number 16. This is the Jack Lawrence cover A. You can see this is bagged and boarded very nicely.
Thank you, Charles. I'm going to remove you from my shit list.
And I also went to my local Five Below. So if you are not familiar with that store chain, it's a chain where it's like a dollar store, except it's a $5 store where everything is less than $5. And I got a hot tip from one of our listeners in the Discord chat. So thank you to Manny Cara, who said that the Five Belows were getting lots of Titans Return Titan Master figures, and in particular one that I was looking for and could never find, Ramhorn. There he is, Ramhorn, Titans Return Ramhorn. It's a cool little guy. It was only $3, so it was actually less than $5, so that's nice.
Store's living up to its name.
And they had a bunch on the shelf, so I actually grabbed a few. And one of our good friends and listeners on the show was really interested in this, so picked one up for him, and maybe one or two for prizes for Transmissions listeners. We'll see. But yeah, Ramhorn. He's not a cassette anymore. He's got a little Titan Master guy in his stomach there. This is pretty much a retool of the Shuffler figure.
I just thought of Ace Ventura, where he's trying to come out of the back of the Rhino.
But yeah, cool. Yeah, the rhinoceros turns into a tank thing. I'm not going to do that here, but yeah, it's a neat little figure. Cool. All right, now Yoshi.
Aww.
You can go.
Well, first, I understand we're doing a contest, something. While I was at Emerald City Comic Con, I stopped by this booth called Han Cholo, and they are great big Transformers fans, and they gave me an Optimus Prime pin to throw in our contest.
Nice.
It is very, very nice. Yeah. These guys were super cool. We're talking about getting them on the show for an interview because they've got a lot more Transformers shit coming out.
They also have a lot of Voltron stuff.
Yes, they do.
So they sponsored that, or they just had it to sell?
I bought some other pins from them, and they gave me that once I explained the podcast I was from. And they're like, we're great big fans of the Yoshi cast. Have this Transformers pin. And I'm like, well, I'm also on this other cast. If you watch the Emerald City video, I interviewed a guy by the name of Russ Richards. I bought some Dinobot stickers from him.
Oh, nice.
Is he the one that had the ones on the glass?
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yes, he's a sweet guy. Awesome art, obviously. Yeah, so cool dude. Being the sketch cover guy, that's where most of my money went for this trip. Kai Zama came over from Japan. Couldn't let that pass.
K Zama.
You know what? She can correct me. Fuck you.
It's still K Zama.
So we got G2 Megatron versus Optimus Prime. Very, very cool. She went
I
way
saw
out.
when she tweeted out that she was working on this. It was awesome.
Yeah, I had no idea that was your commission because I tweeted you specifically, like,
I
look
know.
at this, Yoshi. Like, this is awesome.
He's like, I
And
know.
K's like, yeah, this is for Yoshi. I'm like, what?
I like to keep mum about things. Ken Lashley, it was a Hasbro toy conceptual artist back in the day. Got a piece from him.
Oh, nice.
He did an awesome Optimus Prime on a regen cover.
Is that Cybertron in the background?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
It is. Everything's opposite on my screen. I keep going the wrong way. So it's really cool. I love seeing different people's interpretation of Transformers. So the collection
Except for Michael
grows.
Bay.
Except for Michael Bay. You're right. Charles, does the name Charlene ring a bell? Go back to the 80s. Go back to that infamous Skids issue.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right. This was rather serendipitous. The day before the convention, I found a YouTube video about an artist by the name of Genevieve Broomall, who likes to draw the pretty ladies. And after I saw her art, I asked her if she could modernize this just a little bit for me. And she certainly did.
Huh?
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. So she had a lot of fun taking the inappropriateness of that comic book and bouncing it up to 10, if you will.
It goes up to 11.
Yeah. She found 11 and 12 and 13 and 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is she licking Skid's windshield there?
Oh, she's not. It's so hard to tell when you properly bag a fucking comic book.
Oh, okay. All right. You got to tweet that image out or just send me the image.
Oh, ooh.
Hang on. Genevieve is one of the people I got to interview, and that's coming out in a separate video about sketch covers. So yeah, that's pretty much my Transformers related haul from the convention.
Nice.
I'm done.
All right. Jeremy, or no, not Jeremy. Darryl. Darryl, we come to you. Last, but certainly not least. We save the best for last, as always.
All right. Well, I too got Lost Light 16, and I got the cover that no one else got. The B cover with Alex's cover with color.
I got that.
So,
Did he write his name in the center of this one?
well, kind of. It's right there.
I know he's working on it. He'll get it. He'll do it.
He'll do it. So yeah, I got that. I wanted to show off this because this is what we talked about at the beginning of the show. This is the prize. This is the Masterpiece Sunstreaker. It is unopened. So yeah, take a look at that. It is gorgeous, and it will make its way to the prize pack at some point.
But can you pin it to your shirt?
Yeah, probably.
Touche, sir. Touche.
With enough staples.
Yeah. And while I was, and I said, well, if you're getting one for the podcast for the giveaway, get me one. So I got one.
Ah.
Yeah, but did you get chipped?
I did.
That's all I care about.
Yeah, but I don't care about Chip.
Can I buy Chip from you?
I no. Because it won't be complete anymore, and then you'll give me shit for having an incomplete
Darryl,
masterpiece.
He's offering to make it a Darryl complete toy by giving you money.
So I've got my bad cube next to each other, next to the masterpiece here, and I've actually have noticed some differences. And I do have to give the masterpiece its due credit now, because it is a better figure. I definitely was much more bullheaded about the bad cube one when this one was coming out. And
how about the bad cube Chip Chase? Can I buy that one?
Maybe. Yeah. So the bad cube one, you've got the feet on him are much wider than, I'm screwing this up. There you go. The feet on him are much wider than the masterpiece one, and that that makes a difference. Now, the articulation, though, I do have to give bad cubes a bit more here, because the articulation on the bad cube one does allow him to put his arm like completely up like that, and the masterpiece cannot do that. The head sculpts, though, the head sculpts are beautiful. They both are a little different in each their own way, but if you can tell by looking at it, the bad cube one is actually wider in the torso, and with the masterpiece one being slightly taller as well, the slimness of the torso does actually make it look a little bit leaner, and does fit nicer together like that. So bad cubes is still really nice and really well done, super complicated to transform, but the masterpiece one really is a sublime figure. And yeah, I do have to eat some crow on this one, because I really was giving it a lot of shit for thinking that the bad cube ones were okay enough, but this one, it's a really good figure, and if you have an opportunity to get it, you should do so.
Can you compare the Chip Chases?
I could, but the bad cube one is back there, and the other one's in a box beside me, and I'm not getting it out. It's too much work. I'll show you pictures. I'll give you pictures. Okay, and then the last one, and Jeremy's going to help me out here. I was explicitly asked to wait until Yoshi was on the show to show this off.
How long have you been waiting?
4 weeks.
That's not easy for you.
No. I contacted one of our listeners, Fat Rob, because I had an image idea that I, as a non-artist, could not pull off. And I said, hey, man, could you think you could pull this thing off for me? And he said, totally. I totally could. So
he's the one that sent us each our own, an image.
He did. So I liked his style enough, and it would fit my description. So I sent him what he called art direction. I didn't know that there was a term for that. So I sent him a very long email with art direction. He's like, that was a really good art direction. You should, you should do that more often. And so this is the 11x17 page that he sent me with the 86 cast of Autobots fighting Predaking. And Jeremy's going to show it here, but this is it here physically. I have to still find a proper frame for it, but it's a big ass battle scene, and the Autobots are not doing well in it. So Jeremy, if you want to post that up, the big one there.
Up. And it's showing the wrong thing.
Porn tab.
No, there we go.
There we go. Okay, so you can see basically in the bottom right corner, Ultra Magnus is commanding, because Hot Rod, or Rodimus Prime, has taken a hit and is on the ground. RC is tending to him and is firing back on Predaking. And Jeremy, you can float some of the smaller images around if you want.
Okay, I think RC is next.
Okay.
If it'll flip over, it's
So yeah, there's RC. You can see that she's cradling injured Rodimus Prime as she fires back on Predaking. Go on to the next one.
the next one is Blur not having a very good day.
Blur is taking a hit. He is dying, but it was rendered very well. He's not having any fun. Next, this is Cup. He's drawn fairly small, but he's being held by Predaking, and who knows what fate beholds Cup. Next.
Well, he died in IDW. So.
Yeah. Off in the distance, I made this remark in my description. Off in the distance, I wanted Metroplex to be on his way, to be showing that he's coming, but perhaps not in time. So he's coming, but yeah. So he's in the background of the image. Next.
Yep. And there.
This is Springer. He's at the top in copter mode, and he too is participating in the battle. And yeah, he's doing okay. Springer always seems to make it out.
Yeah, he's doing better than Blur.
Yeah.
How did Predaking's wing catch Blur? Isn't he supposed to be super fast?
It's not his wing. You can see if I don't know if there is a direct shot of Predaking, but Predaking's firing his arm cannon, and it's what hit Blur. And then the last picture is Ultra Magnus, and Ultra Magnus is just doing a very commanding pose, showing that he's taking control of the situation and firing on Predaking. It's a good image. Fat Rob did an amazing job of this, and there you go with the main image. So. Yeah, Predaking's arm cannon is firing, and it's taking out Blur. And there is some damage being done to Predaking, but he's a giant, and I'm over the moon impressed with the work that Fat Rob did on this one.
That's amazing. And this is all pencil, right?
It's all pencil. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, this is really top-notch stuff. This is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't.
Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better work. This is exactly what my mind saw. If I could have drawn it, I would have. But my hands don't. They don't do that kind of stuff. So
they don't translate from the brain to the paper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fat Rob, you're awesome. Thanks for sharing or for doing this artwork for Darryl. This is really great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's what I've got. Yoshi, did you have any comments on the art?
It's fucking beautiful. I'm sitting here thinking like how I want to know how you wrote that email to him and how much of that actually was how you pictured, how much of it wasn't how you pictured, but you were over the moon of it or under the moon of it.
I can tell you the original idea, it was reversed from the image. So Predaking was going to be on the other side and the Autobots were going to be coming from the other flank. But it turned out to be harder to do in a drawing that way. So by doing it the one way, because of the position of Predaking's gun, it would have crossed in front of him instead of along his side, and I wanted the crest of Predaking to be visual, like to be seen. So yeah, and that way it's not. So by moving him to the completely opposite side of the page, you could actually have it all seen that way.
Gotcha.
And that was Rob's input. He's like, I can do this differently, but you got to allow me to switch sides. And I'm like, I can't see it in my brain that way. You're going to have to kind of show me a bit. So he did a quick sketch and showed it to me. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that works.
We have very talented listeners.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing, and I've got to put it up in a frame and get it up here in this room. Yeah,
nice.
But that's what I've got this week.
All right. Well, that is all the stuff we got for trips to the store this week. Do want to give you a quick bit of information, because if you are going to DairyCon this year, so that's coming up when, Jeremy?
It is coming up the weekend of April 9th.
All right. And Jeremy will not be there. He'll be at Disney World.
Yep.
But if you will be able to get some Transmissions stickers and cards there.
Yep. One of our listeners, Brad, who's local to me, is going to be a vendor there, and he's going to have them on his table.
Does his table have a name? Is it, or just
I have
Brad?
no idea. Just look for a table that has our stickers.
Okay.
Just walk around the convention yelling, Brad!
Yeah.
Brad!
He's awesome. You'll have stickers and cards. And then these will also be at TFCon. You guys will have it if you're, you and Charles and Darryl will have them at TFCon Canada. See, he nodded.
I hope.
Keep
I
going.
hope. Cross my fingers.
Yoshi, are you going to go to Canada? Or?
I'd like
Chicago?
to. I don't know. Chicago for sure.
All right. Thanks again to all of our Donatreons for continuing to support the show. And if you would like to become a Donatreon, just go to www.transmissionspodcast.com/support. And that's where you can find out how to donate. Either PayPal or Patreon will get you lots of exclusive perks for being a part of the Transmissions family.
Euros, please.
Patreon translates.
All right, and if you don't want to support us monetarily, please consider giving us reviews, subscribing to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all those places. It helps out the show, just boosting our numbers and getting the show more visible. So you can find all the links to that at our website, www.transmissionspodcast.com. So we'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.